Welcome to the social circle where creators come together to turn ideas into impact and goals into a reality. I am Candace, and this is.
Jennifer, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're joining us. We are super excited that you are here. We have a really interesting episode for you today. I'm so glad to have you on. And Wednesday, but for some reason it turned into a manic Monday.
Right? So,
That's
engagement.
life. Yes,
Engagement is what drives growth. It drives the amount of followers, the amount of people that see your content. So, what we're going to talk about today is what engagement hacks have we noticed that have been working so far this year in 2025, since we're doing our mid year recap episodes. So, what still works? And it's not just likes. We're going to go through literally everything because there is a hierarchy. Jennifer, I mean,
definitely.
there's a
There's a
hierarchy.
preference.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. Know that we used to be told when we were starting out in the game that likes are king. You want to have somebody like your content because then that's the bigger chance of it going viral. I think this was like in TikTok mostly. But overall, now that I've been kind of semi-pro with Instagram on my own account for my lifestyle account, it has been pretty much debunked, demystified, whatever you want to call it. Likes really are very far down low on the point system as far as your algorithm sending your content to the right people. Nobody really cares to like anymore. The reason that your content would actually get reached to the right people is if they're sharing it and they're saying, oh my God, this piece of content is the content that I have to send to whoever.
Yeah.
And if
And
you're
that's what we're going to get into, though.
definitely. Yeah, it's all of that good stuff. She catches me.
Don't
I know
give
she
away the
does.
goods. Don't give away all the goods yet
I
because we
get
got to give
very
them the.
excited.
I know you are. We got to go into the quick circle hack first. And our circle hacks are just a little tidbit, a quick tip to give you things that we know that work. And we were talking just earlier before we started recording about asking a question. I mean, that's really a hack. Ask your audience a question. I was telling Jennifer one of my more successful reels is, does anybody else have a husband who? And then whatever it is.
Right. Yeah, it's a good one because it's people love giving their opinion on anything. The more opinionated someone can be, I'm promising you, the more feedback, interaction, the more high. And it's not about going viral, guys. It's about having that connection with somebody else who's watching and saying, "Oh my God, I have to speak up. I have to say my piece on this and let other people know." Right. So that's why you see so many things, so many videos with such high communication on the comment section is because people are saying this is definitely me. And I have, like, I was watching a creator who's going through a divorce and her life has been publicized and there's kids involved and there are people commenting it's a scam, it's fake, she's doing this for attention. Then there are people inside the comments replying to those commenters and saying it's not a lie, it's all real, go back and watch. Even the
Right.
creator herself is commenting. And so, because of how she is portraying parts of her personal story in her content, people are obviously nosy. They want to know. So they are
Right.
saying either you're a liar, calling the creator out, or saying, I agree with you. I feel for you. I started following you because of this. And, now it's going to change. What do I do? Kind of thing. Like, it's
Hmm.
a good way to just have your audience of the people that you really want watching you to come out. It's also another hack, a good way to repel people who don't want your
Oh,
content. Keep that in mind.
facts.
Facts.
Facts. And you want to repel people. I know
Yep.
when you're building an account, every follower counts. Every follower counts. But sometimes you want to repel. Like you want to repel as much as you want to attract. I
For
cannot
sure.
remember who said that, but it
I
was
couldn't
someone more
either.
brilliant than me. I know that. I may figure it out by the end of the pod, but somebody more brilliant than me said you want to repel just as much as you want to attract because you're trying to build a community of
Yeah,
like minded people, people that may not do the things that you do, but they enjoy it. They like watching. So that's kind of what the questions are about. Does anybody else have a husband who? And mine's mostly about my husband spoiling me because he does. That doesn't happen for everybody. I know that. But it does happen where people can make a comment either way, an opinion either way on me or him or us or blah or whatever. Gives people an opportunity to run their mouth,
Yep.
which they
Basically.
enjoy.
So it's an all-around useful tactic that you can implement into your content today. And if you are using that idea, share it below. Let us know because I'd love to talk more with you about it.
Yeah, throw it in the YouTube. Throw the link in on the YouTube so we can see the video.
Please,
But
yes.
now, I know you're excited. So let's talk about how the algorithm really prioritizes your interactions on your content. Like we said earlier, likes, meh, likes are great. Don't get it twisted. Likes are
Yeah.
great. If people are looking at your video and they're not liking it, then there's a problem.
Yeah, it's a tell. If you're not getting any information back, if you're not getting and shares, saves, reposts, comments, or likes, the top three reasonings that nobody would do anything is that there's something wrong with the hook, something is wrong with the audio, it doesn't make sense with what you're saying in or doing in the video, and then it also is something to do with maybe just the video itself is just not like attention grabbing. And the best way to get your content prioritized in the algorithm is when somebody saves and shares, right? Those two are kind of
Yeah.
hand in hand.
But are they?
Are they?
Are they hand in hand? Because I think a share is better than a save, right? And that's going to depend on the type of content.
True. No,
But
yeah.
I would disagree, and here's why. Because if I save something, it stays in my phone. It stays right there in my account for me to come back to whenever the heck that may be. Because I was just cleaning out my saved folders on Instagram the other day, and I was like, okay, 2 years ago I saved this. I don't think I need it anymore. But so it's just sitting in your phone. But when it's shared, you're another piece of an audience somewhere is viewing it, whether they share it to their story, whether they share it to their husband through DMs. So that's why for me, I think, yes, I would say likes, comments, depending on what the comments are. I would say saves and comments are more equal than shares and saves, I think.
I don't disagree. Yeah, no, I know that they're the hierarchy, right? They take the queens of the whole deck of cards. And I would say that if you're focus on finding out what your audience wants. Comments would be your next thing
Yeah.
to really concentrate on. Again, that comes back to, the DMs that Candace was talking about, the how do you think, all right? And that will that just is another way to help elevate your algorithm reach to your audience. And then, of course, likes. Honestly, likes are a vanity thing. In my opinion, in my experience, seeing how many people like it versus how many people shared the post. I'm like, well, they liked it, but they didn't like it enough to say, oh, this is great. I have to send it to somebody else. But
Yeah.
and it isn't necessarily like a virus. So when you're studying content to get ideas, inspiration from, when you're trying to grow an account, right? This is probably the most important piece for you is to study what is done in that shares saves area
Yeah.
versus what is done in the likes comments area of a video that you find inspirational. If you think that the saves and shares are so good, it's most likely because it's the hook, the words
Hmm.
on the screen or whatever opener, if it's somebody speaking, however they come across in the first few seconds, right, guys? Remember, 3 to 7 seconds is the ideal time to keep people watching and engaged. If it's more than 2 seconds and they start to scroll, you got to change your hook. You got to figure out what else is wrong. That is something to remind yourself of when you are comparing or looking at other pieces that, if it's got the highest shares on it, if you don't know. The new feature is the
Oh, wait.
repost. We're going to
One
talk
thing
about
I
that
want
in
to
a little
say.
bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to say one thing to kind of close that loop. If you're face to face, a comment is like somebody talking to you back and forth. It's conversational. It's let me see what let me ask questions kind of a thing and what they're doing. If they tag a friend in the comments, That's good as well. That's bringing somebody else into the fold, right? Again, going back to
Connection that Moseri talks
connection,
about.
right?
Yeah.
And if people are doing that, then yeah, the platform is going to push your content out to more people. That's why you want the engagement. Comments, shares, saves, all three matter, but not equally. Is what is I think we're really trying to get at is they're not equal, but they're all good in their own way.
They all definitely help with the initial growth of a video and of an account. So if your goal at the beginning in your strategy in the beginning as a new creator or a creator who's just trying to move the needle on their follower count for a little bit, growth strategy number one is to focus on the shares, the saves, and the comments over the virality of likes, right?
Yeah.
Likes, like I said, is more of a vanity for you. Your ego feels better when somebody hits the like button. But I promise you, your ego will soar so much higher if people are actually sending your content out to other people. They're sharing your message for you.
Yeah.
They're doing the work that you're putting out. So turning that comment section into endless content ideas is something else we've discovered.
Yeah.
It's a very ingenious marketing strategy to utilize for future content. Candace, I know you had a lot you wanted to say on this.
You're right. That's what I was going to say is reuse the comments.
Yeah.
Reuse the comments as content. You
People
can
love seeing their content on your feed, by the way. If you didn't
comment.
notice it, comment. Yeah. They
If
like
it's a
to
good comment, they don't like seeing it if it's a crappy comment. I'll
Well,
promise you
some
that.
people honestly they just like the attention, right?
Right.
Because a lot of us are attention whores. We want to be acknowledged for what we do and say and think. And
Yeah.
so if you are the kind of creator that has a comment that you can respond to, that's just another perk, right? It's just another skill level you add into your strategy of getting your content seen. And if somebody makes a statement that you disagree with, I don't know how many times I've seen there's a chick on TikTok who's a teacher. I think her account number is
Oh,
name
unlearn 16?
unlearn 16. Right. She is fabulous. She's a
Yeah, she is.
Canadian high school teacher, but she gets US citizen comments constantly on
Mhm.
every statement that she has. And she is a good teacher.
Mhm.
Canadian teacher teaching us
Mhm.
Americans about our American laws.
Mhm.
It's amazing seeing what comes out of the comment
Yeah.
from these people, from random strangers on the internet. But
Oh
it's
yeah.
fuel. It's fuel to push content for you. You know now
Mhm.
what is a good hit for you to keep doing on repeat. Not exactly the same, but twist it, change it, move it up a little bit, tweak it. And that's just another way of growing your own from your comment sections. It's a good idea.
Yeah, and I don't want to forget, we talk a lot about reels, but don't forget your stories. That's another way for you to use things like polls and questions and getting the audience involved, which again, they love.
Yeah,
So
if
don't,
you're selling a product on an Instagram account for obviously you're here to make an income. The stories is where you now have that more personable approach with your following because the stories content is the dedicated follower who is in your life and everything you share. So they're
Mhm.
watching your reels, they're watching your carousels, they're checking your posts. They're also inside of your stories, commenting, answering those poll questions, falling in love with you on the personal side of you. And that's what stories are good for when you're posting. That's the difference between the reels, the post carousels, and stories. Stories is the VIP pass to you in a sum, I would say.
Yeah. For sure. It's just a way for you to connect closer to your audience. So are your posts and your carousels. Your carousels could go out to a larger audience that doesn't see your content regularly. But if you look at your analytics, it's mostly going to be your followers that are looking at your posts and your carousels. So, but they are, don't forget about them. Great place to put questions. I did a carousel recently where it was like things we do that make our kids cringe,
Mm.
and people loved it. They loved it. Ask questions. Do you really do that? Yes, I do. So, just another good way to get your audience involved. And now I want to talk about the social spotlight because this also it wraps into all that because it's a new feature that Instagram just rolled out.
Repost.
Woo!
If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening on the podcast, when you are looking at a reel on an account that you follow, the repost is, I'll show it to you on YouTube.
Mm,
It's double arrows. So it looks like if you if you used to have a CD
little
player, it's
recycle circle.
the recycle circle, the repeat circle, right? So the way that my understanding of a repost is, and correct me if I don't understand right, the repost is something that you take that reel and it's being reposted to your followers because it's something that you liked in your account, and from your account, you're watching other content that you love to watch. If you share somebody's content that you are watching, it shows up in your feed of your followers. So they're
Yes.
seeing what you are seeing, which is a really other good way
Right.
for, again, people to just say, "Huh, she likes the same Will and Grace flashback episodes or flashback of Friends episodes that I like. Holy cow, that's awesome. Like, she's even cooler. She's even more my people, right? It's just, again, community over anything else inside of
And
social media.
and reposts. So if you use TikTok, similar because we've had reposts on TikTok. So it's similar to Instagram, same thing, you repost them. And for creators, how that factors into your analytics is that's like somebody sharing your video. So I
Yeah.
asked Meta at my call last week with them how that will stack up on analytics. And they didn't have a clear as far as will it be better than a share or not as good as a share. But here's Candace's thought process. If I share something to my husband, I'm just sharing it to my husband. If I repost something, I'm putting that on my timeline. Like I'm putting that in my feed. So I feel like that's a bigger deal. But what do you think, Jennifer?
So I know it'll have to take maybe a year before we actually see some hardcore results
Yeah.
and some comments from Mosery and whoever else works for Meta. I think it's just another boost for yourself as a person to the people that you're trying to reach out
Oh, for sure.
and
It's
be a
like your
community
content
person with.
it's like your content has two shots.
Two sides of you.
Yeah, you share it and then somebody else reposts it, you repost it, and then five other people repost it. Their whole audience is going to see it. So it's kind of another
It's
angle for
it's
your
circular, I think, or
Mhm.
secular, whatever the word is. It runs in a cycle. You know, you're sharing stuff that you love seeing, and people are watching what you're watching now, and they're falling in love with you. So they can also fall in love with whatever content you're loving at the time, and it just is another. I want to say trust building exercise, but that's really
Yeah.
not it. But it's similar to that. I think it's a good usage of Instagram for
Mhm.
you send it to your followers and they could essentially send once they realize they have it, they could send your content out in a repost on their feeds to their friends who aren't following you and so on and so forth. It just becomes an exponential follower upburst, possibly. I'm not saying that's what the invention of it is for, but it's a
No, but that's
possibility.
what we think it is and we've been
I
doing
think
this
so,
3
yeah.
years. Yeah. So, I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it.
I've seen
But
how people can share a reel with other followers, and you end up getting followers from the share, which is a
mhm.
possibility. Instead of Instagram suggesting a reel to you, now you're seeing it from other people that you know and be like, well, they trust it, so now I can. Kind of goes in the trust factor is huge when you're wanting to grow your account. You definitely want people to say, well, this chick is legit. I feel
Exactly.
like I can anything she has to say, think or do, I agree with it because I like her. I feel for her and whatever. It's all community building and
Mhm.
growing your own account. And then eventually down the road, getting that income from all of that. Somebody purchasing your favorite hair care product, your
Right.
favorite clothing product, your favorite car Corvette care product, stuff like that, guys. It's whatever your account is for, eventually that will all lead back to making a profit down the road. I'm not saying that right now because somebody follows, they're going to purchase. That doesn't
Right.
happen.
No.
Get that out of your mind. If
Mm-mm.
somebody's following, you're building that community of people who might. make a purchase eventually. So just
Yeah.
plugging that out there.
And just FYI, inside of the VIP circle, we have all of the tools to help you figure out how to get a video that gets engagement, how to get a video that goes viral, how to get shares. We
Well,
go through
it'll have to come back.
analytics with the
Okay.
checklist that tells you on your reel if it got views, if it got likes, if it got this is probably what's wrong with it. Check your hook, check. It's a checklist for you to go through step by step and see what the problem was with that specific piece of content to make it better for the future.
It takes work, guys. This is not a post just to post kind of a thing you're doing. At least not when you're talking to us.
And it's not. It's fun. It's fun, but it's work.
Definitely. And there's no shortcuts to popularity, guys. If you're trying to find it, we're not the group to share that.
Yeah, there's no get rich quick scheme over
Not
here.
here. Sorry.
This is we're building communities.
We
We
believe
are
in
the
work
social
ethic.
circle. So
Yeah.
make sure that you hit that subscribe button.
Follow us on Instagram, everybody. We are over here. I am Jen underscore Radillac, and Candace is at Just the Blended Wells. Check us out inside of our our social circle VIP. If you are interested in building an audience that actually talks back at you, I'm telling you, the information in there is powerful, and you have to check it out. If you have any questions, comment below. We will respond. And we are excited to help you guys out because we are all standing on the shoulders of giants who have paved a way for us. We just want to help you get there faster.
Amen. Have a great
Amen.
week.
Have a good week, everybody.